Never have enough time to play it all. You know everybody wants to walk in someone else's shoes. Everyone's forgot who they are. Such a grind.
Hello, welcome back to Otter Creek in Rio Grande, where I'm going to get started doing some more track work. So where I'm at, I'm ready to start getting serious about completing what's going on here on the backside of Silver Gulch. So what I have proposed is starting right about here is 3 tracks branching away from the main line so that I can have the main line going through to Frying Pan and then a yard track on either side of it, one for eastbound traffic and one for westbound traffic. So what that means is that right in here where all of this takes place, I've got some things that are going to be a little bit tricky. So let's go take a look at what I'm going to be dealing with. So the 3 tracks, as they come through this curve, are going to have to branch out in this area to 4 tracks. 1 track will be continuing on, I guess, what will be east. Another track will be continuing east. And then 2 more tracks will be going south. And then the higher track on the south side will be going into the engine facility that will exist here in Frying Pan. So that I've got 2 tracks going east and west on this end of the yard, and then actually 3 tracks on this end of the yard, which is the north-south yard that goes on to what will be Hellgate sometime in the distant future. So what's going to have to happen here is that the traffic is going to have to be able to go either east or south as it's coming from the west. So I need a crossover here that's taking place on a curved radius. Now originally I had thought that I was going to need a 60-inch by 32 curved turnout that didn't exist, and I've decided that what I'm going to do before I attempt to build those is go ahead and use the 24 by 19 Fast Tracks jig. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this crossover, which will be actually 4 turnouts in here configured in such a way that, you know, I'm hopefully going to get what I want out of this radius so that I can have a curved yard, so to speak. And that's going to be a new adventure for me. And one of the things that I would suggest that I didn't do, that if I were to do it again tomorrow, I would make sure that, you know, this Fast Tracks jig is a 24 by 19. The outside radius is a 24, the inside radius is a 19. I've got 24-inch sweepsticks, but I never purchased any 19-inch sweepsticks. And having those really kind of makes things a little easier. You can create an easement into that curved turnout that kind of sets the locomotive before it hits the turnout. And I think that's an advantage. So I don't have any 19-inch radius sweepsticks, but I do have the 24s. It's going to work. I'm not going to, you know, just order 19-inch sweepsticks and wait another week and a half for them to come from Canada before I attempt to do this. So that's that. But I would suggest getting whatever curved turnouts you make use of from Fast Tracks, I suggest getting the sweepsticks at the same radius to go along with your jig, or excuse me, your fixture. I don't want to offend Fast Tracks. My efforts so far are encouraging. So I've got the 4 turnouts, curved turnouts created. And so what's gonna have to happen is that these 2 turnouts are kind of the crucial turnouts, and it's gonna set where these end up being. So this outside just needs to spill straight into this long, straight tangent track. And then this turnout, there needs to be a number 6 coming right straight out of it. So my plan is to cut away this non-diverging route probably as close as I dare, and then scab on a number 6, just butt up to it. And then that number 6 turnout, the non-diverging goes on further east. The diverging track out of that number 6 goes into the 2 3-ways, into the engine facility off in here. And then the diverging route out of my curved turnout is the main line south out of frying pan. So getting those 2 turnouts set where I want them is kind of the first rattle out of the box. And then these 2 turnouts, you know, will just need to fit in there however it works out based on those 2. Now, I didn't think about it, but I don't have any crossover ties whatsoever. So it's not necessarily a game stopper at this point. I got other things that I can do, but I don't want to get too carried away in what's going on in here until I feel like I can put crossover ties in there. And I think some of them are probably going to need to be PCB ties. So I'm going to have to make another order for PCB ties. I think my plan right now is to check out and complete these 2 3-ways. One of them is sketchy, and then the other one I think will work pretty good. I just got to go in and put throw-out bars on them. That's really all I have left to do because I've yet to test them. I have no idea if any of my 282s are going to be able to go through them. And more importantly, if there is a need to back out, which there shouldn't be because I'm going to have a turntable off in here. But, you know, if there was ever a need to back out of there, could I, or back in? Because I would like to be able to go either direction regardless. So I think I'm going to mess with those 3-ways and kind of let this linger for a while. I know it's going to work. It's just going to be a matter of, I'm probably going to have to put flex through here. I don't know. I'm still going to have to think about that, but it's going to work one way or another. All right, as you can see, I've finally achieved success with the 3-way turnout. I'm not gonna say too much about this in this video because this video is already getting long enough. I will say that this was painful. It took me way too long to get this to where it would work. And it's my 3rd attempt. The first 2 were failures. I think I mentioned that earlier. But I now have a pretty good understanding of what to do and what not to do while building one of these 3-ways. If you're interested in this, you know, knowing more about it and or building turnouts in general, I think I'm going to do a standalone video just on that. So look for that in my video playlists. Well, after a solid week of filing points and frogs and everything else, I now have these crossovers laid in there where I'm kind of looking at things at the moment where they might work. What I'm considering doing is this area in here. Can I make this prototypical to the way the real trackage was at Basalt, Colorado, but only doing it on a radius? My gut says that I'm so stubborn that I will spend an entire weekend trying to force things to work that's not going to work, but it's my nature to try. I'm not going to do any of that on this video. This video has gone on long enough. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned and we'll see how this mess right here progresses.